Hey, what's going on, everybody? Currently 40 miles south of Canada. It's February 7th, I think. 23 degrees out, 8 o'clock in the morning. Williston, North Dakota. Been up here for 3 months. I wanted to test out the camper in extreme cold weather. Turns out to have been a big mistake. It's been a lot of damage. A lot has gone wrong. It's pretty much pretty much miserable up here. As you can tell, there's a lot of medication. So this video, I think I'm just going to go over all the problems with trying to take a summer travel trailer or camper, whatever you want to call this rolling hotel, and subjecting it to extreme wind and cold weather, which is not made for. Just to start with, you really have to insulate it. If I didn't go about insulating the camper, there would be no way for me to support 60 degrees Fahrenheit. The coldest it was in here one morning was 38 degrees. Normally it's right at 60 if I have the electric heaters going 24/7. I have 3 electric heaters. 2 of them are 1500 watt. One of them is 340 watt little plug-in. I'll show you in a second. So because there's only an inch of insulation, the cold air literally will just come right through the wall. It's pretty ridiculous. Any type of moisture that forms inside from running the stove just forms on the wall and turns to ice. I've had to put plastic on the windows. I've had to hard pipe the sewage line, even though I just use it for washing dishes, and that's gone all wrong. Other things that have gone wrong are flat tire. That's just the trailer. The refrigerator blew up. So like your normal house refrigerator, the back of the refrigerator where the coils are and the compressors may be underneath there, that's all indoors. It's all kept at whatever temperature your house is at. RV camper refrigerators, the back of the refrigerator is vented out to the open air. So when it's negative 18 degrees outside, the compressor freezes up and just breaks, which is what happened to mine. I've had to actually disassemble parts of the trailer on the inside here. I'm going to show you in a second, just to try and let the warm air that's in here circulate to where the piping is, to where the water pump is, because it all froze and it's still been freezing. I have intermittent water supply in here, so I am in. There would be no way to survive out boondocking with no electric supply. That would be impossible. It would be horrible. It would really be horrible. You would not be able to run the propane stove in here to keep it warm, because propane, when it's burning, gives off moisture, and in 20 feet by 8 foot, there'd be ice. It'd be like an ice cave in here with the moisture going on the wall, freezing. The door to the camper has broken twice. It's frozen solid shut, where a layer of moisture formed in the gap around the door where it connects, and the keyhole, that whole key compartment door latch situation froze solid. Could not open it. Had to use a screwdriver and pry the door open, which I'm yet to find out when it warms up here the damage to offsetting the door by prying it open at 2 o'clock in the morning when I was so angry I could not get into my own camper. And it was pretty bad because I get to the camper, I try to get in at 2 in the morning, the door won't open, the wind's blowing, because this is North Dakota. If you don't know, 3 days a week the wind's blowing at 30 miles an hour. So when it's 25 degrees out and the wind's blowing, I don't know what the math works out to, but it's something like the wind chill is like negative 20. The worst wind chill I've been through this winter was negative 45 degrees. with the wind chill, and the temperature was negative 18. That was pretty bad. Face just burns. I got decent frostbite on this part of my hand here, which I didn't realize until the next day after I woke up. It had hurt and burned. Everything was fine later. I put some moisturizer on it. I noticed it was red and blotchy, red and blue blotchy. I said, "What the heck is that?" 8 hours later, I guess I'd rubbed my hands with the gloves on. The skin just kind of peeled off like a sunburn, and it hurt. I couldn't touch anything with this part of my hands where it was windburned or whatever, where it was frozen for about 5 days. It just the skin was just falling off, as if you had a bad sunburn and it was peeling. So it's no joke up here. So yeah, it's extreme. It is February though. I'm at the final stretch. Like I said, I'm in a trailer park though, so I have an electric supply. I have 30 amps of electric, so each electric heater is using 12. So I have the two running. If I did turn on the third, on a normal day like today where it's 23 degrees out, it's 60 in here, I could turn the other two heaters on and bring it up to 70, but it's not worth it. And the chance of a fire, is ridiculous. So that's another thing. Electric heaters, using them in here, if you're not going to be here, it's a risk. You don't want to leave. Look at this thing. Look at this. This is just, I'm going to call this a firebox. So this is already broken once. I cut the front out myself. You can't stick your hand in there, you'll chop it off, probably get electrocuted. But one day when I used this, it just stopped spinning. The blade or whatever it just jammed up. It was like, "Nyeh." So I took it apart and it was offset. It wasn't sitting right in there anymore. One of the screws had come loose, so I retightened it, glued it on there. But yeah, this is just waiting to burn the camper down. If the insurance company watches this video right now and my camper burns down in a week, they will not pay me any money because they're like, "Why would you use this thing?" So I actually had to go out and buy another heater, which is right below the camera. I'll show you. And that's just a no fan, no moving parts. It just heats up. That's highly what I would recommend if you're going to get an electric heater. Just get the radiator ones that are oil filled. Don't get ones with moving parts like this, because this is just a death trap. Or it's just you want to burn everything down, get this one. You want to be somewhat right in the mind when you're not at home hoping it doesn't burn down, then get the radiator heaters that are they look like radiators. They just plug in and they're quiet too. That's the other thing. This thing is so loud. If you hate outside noise, definitely get one of these, because the fan blowing on this is so loud that it just blocks out all noise outside. If you like it quiet, go with the oil-filled radiator heater or the resistor heat coil ones that I have that I had just bought. So I don't know. Let me show you what's going on here. The landscape. I'll give you a tour outside. I'll show you. Oh, I didn't even talk about my truck. So the windshield wiper broke. The windshield cracked. The battery died. I had to get new tires. Oh, and then I crashed it. That's right, I crashed it. So the front is all bashed to hell. I just actually got back from the auto body getting a quote. So yeah, let's have a look around at what's going on in here. Alright. So as you can see here, electric heater just stays on. It just stays on. This is the other one I bought. Obviously not plugged in, not on right now. But when I am out for extended amount of time, I use this one. All it does is just heat up a coil in there, and cold air goes in the bottom, hot air comes out the top. That's it. There's no moving parts. It's got a temperature sensor that'll shut off if it gets too hot. If it caught on fire, it would just automatically turn off. This guy over here does not have that. This guy over here can cook your trailer. Also, this one's running right now. We have it set at 65, so it just runs permanently. 340 watts. Just plug it right in. Probably wondering why there's a glass of water there. It's because it's so dry out here right now that actually this will evaporate down to about here in about 4 days. so it does keep a little bit of humidity in the trailer. Have a look at the windows here. So this is on the inside and the outside. I'll show you the outside in a second. Here's the trailer park that I'm in, a little bit of that outside. The neighbor has abandoned ship. He was here in November consistently, and then when the temperature dropped, he just took off and has not come back. Let me show you the other windows, what I've done, the same thing. I have to have the windows shades closed for videotaping because it's so bright, it just blocks out everything, but if you can see, they're all like that. They're all double plastic. If you didn't put plastic on these, it'd be ridiculous. So there was, without that, snow. Snow will come through the gap. That's how crappy these single pane windows are. So you can see there's ice on the window right there. There we are. We're facing north. 40 miles north is Canada. It looks just like that right there. And here we have the trailer graveyard. So that's all the trailers that did not survive. They just literally drag them there with a tractor and they sit there to decay into the dirt. So with single pane windows, it's impossible. If I didn't have the plastic on those windows, then there'd be no way to stay in here. The cold air just comes right through. I've had to rip the boards off from under here, so now this is all exposed here as well because the water piping is under there. The water pump is right there under that. Actually, it's right there behind the WD-40. That froze and started dripping because it started to leak. WD-40 obviously is for the door here. The door is fully insulated here. The door was the worst. The door actually. I went like this one night to get out. I couldn't even get out of the trailer. I had to bust the door open. It was so bad. But, you know, my window back here just has, like packing foam on it. I taped on it. So I'm going to go outside now. Okay, so we're heading outside now. I'm going to show you what's going on outside. So the wind is blowing. It's actually blowing pretty strong. Trailer graveyard looking north towards Canada. So I'm hoping this tape comes off normally. I feel like it's going to leave marks and just going to make the trailer look horrible. That's been sealed up. The wind is broadsiding the trailer right here, so this is where all the wind hits. It rocks like a boat sometimes. I did have outer plastic on here, but I got so claustrophobic that I took it off because I wanted to see outside so I wasn't trapped in my little cell in there. This is my new refrigerator. So right here we have what was in my refrigerator that survived. Some of that stuff in there is frozen. This tire right here is flat. Occasionally you'll have wind come through here. It will get into the trailer slowly. So I have all the windows are like this except for that one kitchen window. It's frozen solid. I don't know how long that duct tape's gonna last. You have a nice look at the front of my truck there. Yep. Right at the stoplight. Oh, this wind chill is pretty cold. So I'm gonna watch for the ice out here. Probably wondering what that situation is. That's what happens when your piping cracks, and once the piping cracks you actually have a lot of problems. So there's some electric tape on there right now, and a bucket obviously because I am still washing dishes in there. Boy, it's pretty bad. That's the shower house. They got laundry in there. And it's nice and warm in there, but it is a walk. I'll take the truck now to go up there because walk up there is pretty brutal. Got my neighbor right here. It's obviously obviously been here for a while. I don't want to talk too much about him because he's in the house. Probably can hear me with the thin insulation. So, yep. Yeah, this wind is pretty bad today, actually. So if it's 23 degrees out, I'm gonna say it's like 10-15 mile an hour breeze. It's pretty bad. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna last out here. I really can't do any repairs or anything until it warms up. Since the tank underneath is frozen, I can't close the slide valves, so I can't really drive with the trailer because you're going to be driving with the valves open. The second it warms up, you're going to have the water from the tanks leaking out, and you know, police really don't like you pulling the trailer around with the gray and black tank valves open with stuff coming out. So yeah. Here, take a look under here. So I unloaded the back of my truck and put the ladder. There's the tow hitch. But here's the other thing. There's heat tape under here. If you can see. So oh my gosh, we gotta go back inside. This is ridiculous. The wind sometimes gets the door there. Hold on a second. Okay. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm going to last out here, but I did make it 3 months. Negative 18 degrees was the worst day so far. It's not over yet, but I don't think it's going to go down to negative 18 again. That wind chill at negative 45 was horrendous. My hand, just holding the camera, my hand's frozen. So yeah, that's the other thing. If you use heat tape, well, you probably saw it outside, but as you can see right there, everything has to be heat tape. That's heat tape. That's my water hose coming in. You probably saw it outside, but yeah, that's totally insulated and wrapped in electric heat tape. So trying to keep it from freezing, which works. I do have some water. So this one is frozen up. There's no water. This one should work. So I just got home a little. Yeah, so we do have some water. So, you know, it's not all bad. But when it's 23 degrees out, when it's about 8 degrees out, there's no water. The pipes just refreeze, even with the heat tape on them, because there's spots of the water piping, plumbing under the trailer that I can't access to insulate. It's just unreachable. So it does freeze up. I'm just trying to think of anything else I wanted to say before I go. I'm trying to keep this at 15 minutes, and I think we're at like 17 minutes now. So, yeah. I don't know. That whole drainage situation, I thought that hard pipe would work. Apparently I saw ice at the end of it coming back out, so the whole pipe is just frozen. The water connection point into the ground here has a 3-foot anode that goes in that's electric and keeps the actual spigot and about 2 or 3 feet down warm, the water, so it won't freeze coming up the pipe. And that's how it's coming through the hose coming into the trailer with heat tape on that and the insulation, keeping the water at least to the trailer liquid. So other than that, I don't know. I'm gonna try and make another video, but it's just been so rough up here. It's just craziness. So all right.